Well, we were about to go south. We're not going south anymore. We're going north. Major change of plans. Bit of a... yeah, we're staying in the cold for longer than we thought.
Well, plans always seem to change on Wildly Intrepid, and this week has been no different. We have now decided, instead of going to Bahamas within the next 2 weeks, we were all provisioned, all ready to go. Now we are re-rigging, because while I was doing a basic inspection of the rig and just looking at stuff while filling up water one last time before leaving, I found a cracked backstay. The connection here that goes into this threaded ball here is cracked. I don't know if you can see it, but right there, there's a tiny little bitty crack going lengthwise. And I mean, it might not be a potential failure point. Well, I mean, it certainly is a potential failure point, but I mean, it could not fail for a long time. But the problem with that is we know our rig is original. We know we need to replace it at some point. And this is just kind of the straw that's broken the camel's back, so to speak, and made us decide to bite the bullet and spend the somewhat expensive $10,000 or so to re-rig. Now, instead of continuing south, we're going to go back up to St. Mary's and do a re-rig with the rigger that's up there. I was looking into DIYing the whole thing, but I think it's just going to be too much to figure out because we're swapping from rod rigging to wire, and there's just a few too many aspects between swapping out the new tangs and making sure that the rig, all the calculations are correct for the rig size and everything else. So it's just going to be really nice to have somebody who knows what they're doing and not try to screw it up in the process, because it is a very expensive job. But of course, this means our date of departure is to the Bahamas is going to be quite a bit pushed back, at least a little while. And it's right around Christmas. Like, Christmas is a few days away, so everything's going to be a little bit closed. So we're hoping to get back up to St. Mary's so we can pull the stick before the Christmas holidays, and then we'll see how things go from there. Hopefully that will speed the process along, at least for ordering everything that we need. And then sometime early January, we can hopefully get the mast put back in and be on our way. So we're just gonna untie the lines and push off. To come to this conclusion, we've been kind of spending an entire day basically just trying to figure out the logistics, trying to get in touch with marinas, trying to get in touch with riggers, trying to work out where we could do this job while still being on the water without having to do a haul out. So it's been a lot of back and forth, but I think we figured out a solution. So let's get going.
Thank you so much to our patron Frank. He's been so helpful. It's amazing knowing people with the changes in your life. It just makes for great people and awesome help. Showing off my beautiful, sexy Christmas leggings.
You ready to go, Christmas elf? Well, when it rains, it pours. Freaking underway, and I smell a strong smell of belt burning and smoke all over the engine compartment. And for some reason, this belt is just eating itself away from one side. I don't understand what the heck is going on. It seems relatively even in line, but it's just chewing itself up. I don't get it. This sucks, man. We can't win with this belt. I keep tightening it. Just destroying the backside of this belt. So it makes me think that the whole alternator is too far out. I can see all of the edges of the pulleys. Each one almost all in line. But maybe it's just a little off. You sure we've been held well?
Yeah, just double check.
My plan is to try to add another washer here to set this back which means it shouldn't rub anymore, because these two pulleys should be in line. They've never moved. So my theory is it's just rubbing on the side here or just not making a good contact. Just making our way up the North River. It's kind of windy and you gotta make sure to stay to the outside of the bends and likely to the south side where there's a little more water. At least that's what I'm thinking based on what I talked to with Cody from Vinyasa, who's been here, and based on the charts. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we stay in the water. When we get right in front of the marina, there's an area that says it's 5'9", so we gotta stick to the far south side to be in deeper water, and we'll see how it goes. Right now we're in like 19 feet, we're at high tide, so as long as we don't run aground at high tide, we'll be good. But we have more water to do it in, so advantage of being at high tide is we have more water, but if we do run aground, well then we're really stuck because we don't have any tide to help us get off.
Yep.
Kai agrees, right? Right? Now you're quiet. There you go. No delay.
How deep are we?
Like 15, 11 to 15.
Writing my journal, treating myself to some cookies. Meanwhile, Corey.
Making a mess of the boat again. This brings back very close memories not that long ago. Although
Actually, not even 2.5, like slightly over 2 months ago was this going on.
Although last time I didn't cut the VHF cable, this time I either had to or I would have had to pull out a bunch of the wiring that I had already done for other projects. So I'm just going to put a splice there. It's going to make it easier for next time I have to remove the mast, which hopefully won't be for a while, but man, yeah, I wasn't expecting on doing this so soon. Pulling all the wires through. Tomorrow or the next day we're going to pull the stick here at
St. Mary's Boat Services.
There we go. St. Mary's Boat Services. It seems like here is going to be a really good guy to work with, so I'm excited to work with him and figure out how to switch this mast from rod rigging and get it onto wire, because that's going to be a lot more serviceable for us in the future. There's very limited places that we can get rod serviced from trustworthy NavTech certified people, and anyway, it's just going to be nice to be able to DIY something if something fails, or when something fails, really, just like it has now. I mean, it hasn't failed at least, but it's likely to fail, and that's why we're not taking the chances and going to the Bahamas right away. We're going to get this dealt with. It's going to be a big dent to our budget though, so we might be just eating lots of fish this year.
Actually, fish and lobster sounds pretty awesome.
Good morning. Well, it's time to get rid of this thing and take it down. We got to clean up the deck, run all the lines, take down the sails, take down the stack pack, take down the boom.
That boom's so heavy too.
Loosen off maybe some of the turnbuckles. But the guy here said he could do all that, but anything I could save on will likely save me a little money. I don't know, who knows? But yeah, we gotta start dismantling everything. Feels like we just did it. All right, so far pretty productive morning. Sails in the bag. Gotta take down the sail cover, take down the boom, pull all the lines through, and then I think we're ready to go. Well, we also have to wait for high tide because this area is very tidal dependent. It's like a 6-foot tide. So if we try to go into the marina at lower tides, we're gonna have some trouble. Plus the rigger is actually doing work on another boat today, I believe. So we're gonna go have a chat with him in a little bit and see what the game plan is. Start getting some stuff figured out. What do you think? Is that a good idea, Coral?
Yes.
Yeah? We're gonna get stuff figured out?
Yes.
Oh, that's good, I'm happy.
Yes.
All my lines are tied to the mast that we're running into the cockpit, and I've got everything else pretty much cleaned up.
Well, this is exciting. We are getting our rig looked at. It is the beginning of a crazy adventure about to happen of changing from rod rigging to wire rigging. Should be good. How's it going? Are you happy?
Yes.
What are you doing?
This eating eating some nuts.
Well, we had a good chat with the riggers, and we're going to pull the mast tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning. So things are getting rolling even sooner than we thought. And Coral's having fun.
Good morning. It is kind of dark, but we are on a very tight schedule. We are gonna take off our mast, and so we've got to leave at first light because we need high tide, or as close to high tide as possible, to be able to get into the lift or where the lift will come so that we can remove the mast. Otherwise we might end up on the ground. High tide was at 6 o'clock. It is now almost 7 o'clock, but you can't really leave any earlier because you do not see a thing. So hopefully we don't end up on the ground and everything goes very smooth. So much to do. I've been wiping the windows more than once. Of course, pulling up anchor.
And you have to take a very, well, not narrow, but fairly specific route all the way out and into that area because there's only one route you could take and it's shallow everywhere else.
Corey pulled beautiful parking into the well, and it's not that much water. I hope everything happens really quick. Actually, I really should. The mast doesn't take that long to get off, and most of the pens are out. So we're getting ready to get the mast pulled out because look at how deep it is here. Yeesh. I mean, it is towards the bow, so there's a bit more water in the stern.
She's a shallow one.
But there's not that much leeway. Ooh, it's kind of nerve-wracking. Oh. C'est quoi son nom? Veux-tu lui faire un beau câlin? Tu l'aimes-tu? Oui. Who needs a dog on a boat when you got marina dogs that Coral can play with? The three-legged dog.
I want to make it back. And the problem is the boat split the anchor. If you get a good storm, they run it.
Tout fait après, Coral.
There she goes. Yeah, you can come up a bit higher, it'll make it easier. All right, right there is good.
The mast is out, so let's get on the boat and get out of here. The tide's already dropped quite a bit, so hopefully it's all gonna be good. Coral, come on over. Come on. Let's see how that goes. So there's a shallow shelf over there that you really want to stick close to the docks. And stay close to the boat here. Watch yourself there, sweetie. You're like pretty close to him. Right.
Happy when it's all done. Just trying to work out all the little details. For example, the mast boot has always been leaking, so the rigger suggested using a product called Spartite, which is basically like a two-part mix that you pour in and you make like a mold for it, and basically makes a perfect mast boot that will seal it as well as replace the wedges and make it so there's even pressure all the way around. But I'm worried those little hangers, the hooks, the tie downs that are meant to keep the deck from raising up when we pull on the halyards that are connected to the deck, I'm worried that it's going to pull the deck up, because all CNCs seem to have those tie downs just for that purpose, to keep the deck from flexing up, because all of the halyards and stuff are connected to pulleys on the deck. So we're just trying to figure out stuff like that, and anyway, it's gonna be good. The mast is down. Everything went smooth, even though we had to get out of there quick because the tide was going out and we were gonna get stuck in the well. At low tide, that well is you see mud. Like you don't just see water. Like, it's down to mud. There's so much mud blown into there. So anyway, we made it. We're back on anchor.
I have a new skylight. So just put a bucket at the bottom and collect rainwater from there.
New water collections.
Ja, men det märks ju vad det var.
Ready to go? He's having fun. Hey buddy, you like it up there?
Why is there so many holes there?
Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering the same thing. But there's no seam from what I could tell, you know? It's like there should be a seam there because there's so many screw holes. But there's not.
And there's a little crack. Qu'est-ce que tu t'amuses?
Oui.
Qu'est-ce que tu fais?
Moi, je grimpe dans ça.
Ça s'appelle comment ça?
Joe.
Non, c'est un chevalet.
Oui.
Meanwhile, Daddy and Kai are inspecting our mast.
Yeah. Talked a lot with the rigger today and figured out everything.
Our ladder is in the water. Home sweet home. It is so weird coming back to a mastless boat.
Well, I think the boat's ready.
I think it is. I hope so. We're gonna be leaving the boat for Christmas because hey, we're pulling out our mast and doing everything during Christmas. Christmas Eve tomorrow, and then Christmas the next day. So we're heading to my sisters, Julie and Sean, and it's gonna be fun. It'll be nice to be with his family and get off of our crazy expenses. So let's shut her down. Well, you got everything. Kai does not like this. And we kind of need gas and there's no gas here. And we're leaving the dinghy here. Let's go. Oh, ho, ho. We are in Jacksonville, going on a little Christmas Eve adventure walk with everyone dressed up in Christmas and the puppies, the big guys. They love going near their sharks. It's City, Carole?
Oui.
On s'en va où?
Au Christmas.
On s'en va au Christmas? On s'en va-tu marcher à l'entour d'un parc?
That's why I asked Alex. I don't think they'll say anything, but
Gosh, it's beautiful. There's just so many flowers still, and we're in December with Christmas. That's crazy. We're walking at Monument Park, say the Jacksonville Arboretum, and it's beautiful. Loving it.
Well, it feels kind of nice to just be away from the boat for a little while, taking a little breather, visiting with some family, and just enjoying our holiday season a little bit in between all of our craziness, boat projects, and getting the whole boat re-rigged now. So it's gonna be good. I mean, of course, it's gonna eat our budget a lot, and we might just be a little tighter for a while until we find some good work to pay off some things. But at least we'll feel really safe and secure with the rig.
Merry Christmas from Florida. We are a long ways from home. We've covered over 2,000 nautical miles. Wow! C'est-tu beau, Carole?
Look how big the ball is! We can kick it! Oh! Huh. This is called Devil's Walking Stick. Man, I would not want... Ow. Those are sharp. It's literally just a stick growing out of the ground. No foliage except for spikes. He's having fun. It's a nice, beautiful day. It's kind of different than last year's Christmas with a white, snowy Christmas, but it's a nice refresh because we've been hoping to run from that cold, and we're finally in the warmth. Yeah. You coming down? All right, come on. We're looking for alligators. All right, let's try to find some. What are we trying to find?
Alligator.
We're gonna find alligators. Oh
Ooh.
my.
Woo! C'est un petit Carole.
take a rake and then
Yeah,
put
run.
it all
You got it.
around.
You got it. Come on. Come on. There you go. Yeah, you're showing off now, eh? Yeah.
Hey, t'as grandi ça qui est boum!
On est tombé.
Oui?
Wow. God, you walk so well. Come on.
There's that tradition in my sister's neighborhood that everyone's given some white paper bags and you fill them up with dirt, cat litter, whatever you got sent, and you put a candle in it. So everyone's been setting up for tonight.
Oh, buddy. Christmas.